Welcome to our channel United Coaching. Today we will discuss 25 biology questions. Our question is life processes of organisms are studied under. So is it physiology, histology, philosophy or ethology? So answer is physiology. Physiology is the study of functions of body parts and body as a whole. Histology is the study of tissues and philosophy is a way of thinking and asking basic questions. The ideas in philosophy are often general and abstract. And ethology is the study of animal behavior in its natural condition. So answer to the question is physiology. Our next question is histology is the study of living organisms at which level? So is it a tissue level, cell level, organ level or community level? So answer is tissue level. Histology is the study of living organisms at tissue level. And at the cell level, the study is known as cell biology or cytology. And at the organ level, it is known as anatomy. And at the community level, it is known as ecology or socioecology. Our next question is respiration in plants occurs in, is it only in non-green cells in light, in non-green cells both in light and dark, in all living cells both in light and dark, or in all living cells only in light? So answer is respiration occurs in all living cells both in light and dark. Now living beings respire all the time, whether it is in light or in dark, and respiration is about production of energy and taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. So this process happens in all living cells at all the time, otherwise the cell will die. So the respiration occurs in all living cells both in light and dark. Our next question is paleontology is the study of, is it the ontogenesis of organisms or extinct organisms or fossils or just dinosaurs? So paleontology is the study of extinct organisms and fossils and dinosaurs. So paleontology is actually study of all fossilized past life that can include everything from corals to fishes to plants, mammals, everything. Now the ontogenesis of organisms is the study of entirety of an organism's lifespan, that is from the development of an individual organism, the anatomical and behavioral feature from the earliest stage to maturity. So the answer is extinct organisms and fossils and dinosaurs. Our next question is, which of the following is not an insect? Is it ant, mosquito, spider or butterfly? So answer is spider. Spider is an arachnid and it is not an insect. Now phylum Arthropod is divided into 5 major groups, that is insects, myriapods, arachnids, crustaceans and onychophores. So as you can see, a spider belongs to arachnids and rest other options, ant, mosquito and butterfly, they belong to insects. So spider is an arachnid, not an insect. Our next question is bacteria lacks alternation of generation because there is, so options are neither syngamy, which is a fusion of two cells, nor reduction division, absence of distinct chromosomes, no conjugation or no exchange of genetic material. So answer is neither syngamy nor reduction division. Now alternation of generation of a species is when the species alternate between a sexual and asexual phase. Now bacteria are prokaryote and have a nucleoid instead of a nucleus. So this nucleoid is the main chromosome or the genetic material of bacteria. They do not have 2n number of chromosomes to alternate between meiosis and mitosis. And in meiosis, a single diploid cell divides twice to produce 4 haploid cells. So bacteria doesn't have a syngamy or reduction division, but bacteria does have conjugation. Now what is conjugation? That is two bacteria make a contact with each other by a pilus and exchange genetic material, and this is known as conjugation, and this does happen in bacteria. And the exchange of genetic material also happens in bacteria, that is the bacteria commonly exchanges small pieces of genome, a few genes at a time, through transformation, transduction or conjugation. So there is an absence of distinct chromosomes in bacteria, and the conjugation does happen in bacteria, and the exchange of genetic material also happens in bacteria, but bacteria lacks alternation of generation. Our next question is, which part of eye is used in eye donation? So answer is cornea. Now as you can see in the picture, cornea is the clear front part of the eye. When someone is getting an eye transplant, they are receiving a donor's cornea only. Currently, there is no way to transplant an entire eye. Sadly, only corneal blinds can be benefited through this process, not the other types of blinds. The optic nerve, which goes from the eye to the brain, cannot be transplanted. So, if the nerve is damaged, the eye transplant would not work. So, only the cornea is donated in the eye donation. Our next question is, which body organ does not have blood supply? So answer is cornea. The cornea is the only part of human body that has no blood supply. It gets oxygen directly through the air and receives nutrients by diffusion from the tear fluid on the outside and aqueous humor present in the inside of the eye in the anterior chamber. So the answer is cornea is the only part of the human body that has no blood supply. Our next question is, anthropology is the study of, so is it spiders, humans, extinct plants, or evolution of plants and animals? So answer is humans. Anthropology is the study of humans. Now the study of spiders is known as arachnology, and study of extinct plants is known as paleobotany, and the evolution of plants and animals comes under paleontology. And paleontology is an umbrella term which studies both plants and animals, and the branch that studies the humans is known as anthropology. It includes the study of humans, human behaviors and societies in the past and present. Our next question is, the vector for sleeping sickness is it housefly, tsetse fly, sandfly or fruit fly? So answer is tsetse fly. The vector for sleeping sickness is tsetse fly. Now housefly is a vector for diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, typhoid, and sandfly is a vector for disease such as kala azar, and fruit fly, although is not a vector for any specific disease, but recent studies have shown that fruit flies can transfer E. coli, salmonella, listeria from contaminated surfaces, contaminated sources to the food surface, and thus causing gastrointestinal diseases. So the vector for sleeping sickness is tsetse fly. Our next question is, organism which is an indicator of sulfur dioxide pollution of air is it mosses, lichens, mushrooms or puffballs? So answer is lichens. Now lichens are symbiotic association between fungus and algae and or cyanobacteria. Now lichens lack roots, stems and leaves, thus rely on air for water and nutrients. Now if the air is clean, the lichens that will grow would be shrubby, leafy and would become abundant. And at normal levels of sulfur dioxide pollution or levels, the lichens will absorb it from the air. But if there is too much sulfur dioxide in the air, the lichens as a symbiotic organism will start to disappear and only the algae part would survive. So lichens becomes a good indicator of sulfur dioxide pollution. Our next question is, the main difference in gram positive and gram negative bacteria resides in there. Is it cell wall or cell membrane or cytoplasm or flagella? So answer is cell wall. The gram positive bacteria retains the stain purple, whereas the gram negative bacteria stains red. Now these two are different because of the difference in the thickness of the peptidoglycan in their cell wall. So the blue ones have a thick layer of peptidoglycan and the red ones have thin layer, and the cell wall is also more complex, which makes the gram negative, which is the red colored bacteria, harder to kill with antibiotics. Now you can remember it as the red means danger. So the negative gram negative bacteria are dangerous or very hard to kill by antibiotics, and this staining technique is important to determine an effective treatment plan for the bacterial infection. So the difference lies in their cell wall. Our next question is, which of the following plants produces seeds but not flowers? So is it maize, mint, peepal or pine? So answer is pine. Pine belongs to the group Gymnosperms, which are the plants that produces seeds without fruits, and rest of the other options, that is maize, mint and peepal, are angiosperms, that are the flowering plants. Our next question is, iris and pupil of the eye are comparable to which of the following parts of a traditional camera? So is it film or aperture or shutter or cover? So answer is aperture and shutter. The shutter of the camera functions as the iris of the eye, and the aperture is comparable to the pupil of the eye. Our next question is retina of the eye is comparable to which of the following parts of a traditional camera? So is it film, lens, shutter or cover? So answer is film. The retina of the eye functions as a film in a traditional camera or SD card in a digital camera. And the eye's lens and cornea works on the same principle of the lenses or in a camera. That is, it helps to refract and focus light onto the retina, which plays the part of a film or SD card. And the camera cover provides protection from the scratches and minor collisions to the camera lens, so it can be compared to the eyelids. Our next question is the heart of a mammal is it one chambered, two chambered, three chambered or four chambered? So answer is four chambered. The heart of a mammal is four chambered, and two chambered heart is seen in fishes, three chambered heart is seen in amphibians and reptiles, and four chambered heart is seen in mammals, birds and only crocodile from the reptilian class. Our next question is oxysomes of mitochondria are mainly concerned with is it breakdown of ATP, synthesis of ATP or transport of ATP or none of these. So answer is synthesis of ATP. The oxysomes are the small round bodies found on the inner surface of cristae of the inner mitochondrial membrane and are involved in the ATP synthesis. The oxysome complex is also known as ATP synthase or F0 F1 particle or elementary particle. Our next question is what is the tendency of plants to grow towards sunlight called? So it is known as positive phototropism. Now positive phototropism is the response of plants towards a light source, and negative phototropism causes the growth in the opposite direction of the light and is also called as aphototropism. Now plant roots usually have negative phototropism. Our next question is pacemaker of the heart is known as is it SA node, AV node, AV septum or IA septum? So answer is SA node or sinoatrial node. Now the electrical signal begins in the SA node located on the top of the right atrium. The SA node is sometimes called the heart's natural pacemaker. The AV node slows down the impulse conduction which is sent by the SA node before the signal is permitted to pass down to the ventricles. This delay ensures that the atria is fully contracted before the ventricles are stimulated. After passing the AV node, the electrical current then travels to the ventricles. Our next question is what happens during exergonic reactions? So is it energy is consumed, energy is released or energy is lost or energy is transformed? So answer is energy is released in exergonic reactions. So what is the difference between energy released and energy lost? So energy lost means when energy is transformed or moved from one place to another, some amount of energy is lost. Like for example, whenever electrical energy is transported through power lines, some of the energy is converted into heat and is considered lost. Now what is the meaning of energy released? That means the energy that is generated through conversion or which is stored in the chemical bonds is used to do a work. For example, when the cell needs energy to do a work, the ATP loses its third phosphate and releases the energy which is used to do some work. So energy which is released is later on used to do some work, and energy lost is something that is not productive. The energy is not used anywhere. And what is known as energy transformation is energy from one type is converted into another type in order to achieve some work. Like for example, kinetic or potential energy or gravitational energy or chemical energy, that is the energy stored in the chemical bonds. All of these energies can be intertransformed and is either used or converted to do some work. Our next question is what happens during endergonic reactions? So is it energy is lost or energy is produced or energy is released or energy is consumed? So answer is energy is consumed in endergonic reactions. So you can take a shortcut for this as N is equal to in. So endergonic means energy is consumed in. So endergonic reactions are also non-spontaneous reactions, which means that the energy has to be added before the reaction can proceed. Our next question is respiration is it a catabolic process, exergonic reaction, anabolic process or endergonic reaction? So answer is respiration is catabolic process and exergonic reaction. Now what is catabolic process? That is, it breaks down complex molecules, and exergonic, as we studied, energy is released. Now anabolic process is something that makes a complex molecule from simple molecules, and endergonic reaction is when the energy is consumed in. So the respiration is when the energy is released by breaking the complex molecules. Our next question is photosynthesis is it a catabolic process, exergonic reaction, anabolic process or endergonic reaction? So answer is anabolic process and endergonic reaction. So as we studied, catabolic process is the one that breaks down complex molecules. Exergonic reaction is where the energy is released. Anabolic process is where the complex molecules are made, and the endergonic reaction is where the energy is consumed. So photosynthesis is a process where complex molecules are made by consuming the energy, which is the solar energy. Our next question is uric acid is the chief form of nitrogenous waste in is it frogs, humans, earthworm or cockroach? So answer is cockroach. Now frog releases urea, humans also release urea, and earthworm mainly removes the nitrogenous waste in form of urea, but when there is plenty of water it releases it in form of ammonia. So answer is cockroach releases nitrogenous waste in form of uric acid. Our next question is which of the following is not a mosquito borne disease? So is it dengue fever, malaria, sleeping sickness or filariasis? So answer is sleeping sickness. The vector for sleeping sickness is tsetse fly, and the vector for rest of the options is mosquito.